Hey guys, it's Frank. Just going to do a quick walkthrough of everything I got in my game room slash bedroom. Got a lot of figurines and miscellaneous stuff around here too, so I figured I'd start with everybody's favorite superheroes from Guardians of the Galaxy. Got these guys on the cheap from GameStop when they were doing a buy one get one free on their collectibles. Turned out to be a really good deal. So I got these guys standing proud, sitting on top of all the Dreamcast stuff. Not too much. I never had it as a kid. I just started getting into Dreamcast, but a lot of great titles, a lot of good fighting games, a lot of good action games, and it looks great with the VGA upscaling. VGA to HDMI looks really good. Alien Front Online, no servers online anymore, but still a good game nonetheless. Right below the Dreamcast, I got all my PlayStation 2 stuff. So the Jak and Daxter series, one of my all-time favorites, by Naughty Dog, one of my all-time favorite developers. I'll be getting into a more detailed video with those guys at some point. But a lot of good stuff from over the years. PlayStation 2 was my first home console. I got that when I was, I think, about 7. And that was one of the first consoles that got me into gaming. The one before that was the Game Boy Color. That was my first console as a whole. Handheld, but still great nonetheless. So here are some of the PS1 games that I have. I'm kind of going to jump all over the place here. But PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, those were the games that I first started off with. Let's move over for a sec. Got some more. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. Those were the games that I started off with as a kid. And going back and visiting, there's a ton of great racing games on there that I've been finding. Some great cartoon and anime games. A lot of great stuff. Coming back to the shelf though. Sticking with PlayStation. Ton of awesome PS3 games. Action, RPG, ton of fun stuff. Let's see what's behind here though. Some more stuff hiding in the background, of course. Try to keep everything organized, but limited real estate, make it work. Portal 2, one of my all-time favorites. And with some extras on the top. This is my queue. I've actually started going backwards. Dark Souls 3 was the first one that I played. So I went and played Dark Souls 2, and I go back and defeat the first one in Demon Souls, of course. Wii, ton of hidden gems on the Wii. A lot of shovelware also. A bunch of games that were just thrown out there, see what stick, make them on the cheap, sell them cheap, see who buys it. But ton of hidden gems on there. Trauma Center, some of those. Really enjoy them. Got them for $5 each. Thought I'd try and see, like, hey, why not for that money? Give them a shot. But then there are others here that I just got on the cheap from GameStop with their buy two get one free, and they're each like $1. So I figured why not, like Chicken Shot. I can only imagine how that one turns out. Hey, maybe that'll be something I play during the marathon if somebody requests it, who knows. One thing that the Wii was totally underrated for, House of the Dead Overkill. A lot of on-rail shooters. Shooters that you'd kind of see at like the arcades. Work really well on the Wii with the Wiimote. Very underrated, those games on the system. And then some more Wii stuff in the back too. Red Steel, another great series. Alright. And of course I gotta mention the Donkey Kong Jungle Beat bongo drums at the top, and R2-D2. Say hello, R2-D2. Alright, coming down, some DS games. DS I was not too big on when it came out, only because I was a PSP kid as a child. You'll see that momentarily, but a lot of great RPGs on the DS. That's kind of what I focus on. Super Princess Peach, her first solo, and only the one that I know of. Her solo game. And the always cute, lovable, adorable Chibi Robo. Lunar. I was so lucky to have gotten those 2 collector's editions at a good price. I got these instead of the Sega CD version only because, you know, PlayStation guy. And a bunch of original Xbox games. Now, I didn't have the Xbox as a kid. My cousin did, and I really enjoyed the games on there. But, again, I was always PlayStation 2, so I kind of got in late to the party on that. But still, great system. Actually, it still looks good today. I think looks better even than the PS2. On the original software, hardware, of course. Alright, now, moving over to my favorite system to collect for, the PSP. I had this as a child, and it has since turned into an obsession. This is one out of the 2 consoles I'm going for a complete collection of. This and the PlayStation Vita, both PlayStation handhelds, of course. PSP, really cheap to collect for, that's kind of why I got into it. But there were a ton of hidden gems that I found going through. Ton of great RPGs, ton of great action games, ton of great compilations too. A lot of the retro, Midway, Capcom, Taito, they all released compilation games for this system, and they're much cheaper than getting things individually, of course, but it's all on one handheld, all one system too. So there's 600 and change games on the PSP. I am at about just shy of 400. So 2/3 of the way there. These are only some of them. I have miscellaneous stocks of these everywhere, so this was just the easiest one to get out and kind of showcase. Alright, going over here, I got a lot of the PlayStation Vita collector's editions, along with my amiibo and David Ortiz bobblehead, of course, from Bobblehead Day, from my one and only Sox game that I went to. Under here, I got all my Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, and on the top is my Neo Geo Pocket Color games. Not too full, there weren't too many, but I do enjoy the Neo Geo Pocket Color for what it is. Sitting above that, got to meet Dan, the actor who did the motion capture for Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, Smoke in the original Mortal Kombat games. Really cool. He was awesome to meet in person. Really nice guy. Moving across the way, some of the Funko Pops that I have. Got my short but sweet NES stack. More of a Super Nintendo than Nintendo, but I'm still working on it. Moving it up, and of course there's all the handhelds and controllers and extra stuff there. A lot of controllers. My Move controllers too, for my PSVR headset. I'll get to that in a bit. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox, some of the games that I'm currently working on. And coming over to my tall stack. Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, Super Nintendo, GameCube, Sega Saturn, Nintendo 64, some miscellaneous 3DS games, and one last pit stop. Loose cartridges for the N64, Super Nintendo, Super Famicom. I got some special boxes for the games that I'm really particularly fond of. Super Metroid, my favorite Super Nintendo game. And there's Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Wii U. Got some Wii U games too, not too many, but just a few. Wii U was kind of never my thing, but I think I'll be getting into it more once the price goes down. There's a lot of good first-party games on there that I'll be taking advantage of getting on the cheap, hoping that they do go onto the cheap. And then hopefully get the Switch too, once a good bundle comes out and the games start rolling out for it. But anywho, miscellaneous controllers, a little bit of everything. Bomberman, multi-tap, so 4 players can play that on the Super Nintendo. That's always fun. And I got my box full of PS Vita games. This one is 2 layers high, full of really fun stuff. This one, just like the PSP, a lot of good RPGs on this. That's kind of what I think the system's mostly known for. Companies like Nippon Ichi Software, they really put out a lot of great collector's editions for it. Axis also put out a lot of good collections. Atlas, of course. So, A lot of great stuff on the PlayStation Vita. That's also the system I'm collecting for a complete set for. That should be a little bit easier. That's about a third of what the PSP has right now. And I don't think it's going to outgrow it by too much. So, anywho, there's a brief overview of what I have in my gaming room. I'll be having a detailed list of everything that I have coming out at some point, but just wanted to give a video walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed.